Alright, so we're moving on to the next one. Yelling Saboteur. Second, I would say, second of the 5-star rarity of our Persona 5X originals. This character, this character is still good to this day. Now, in some aspects of her kit, I would say that she is primarily better in trials due to one particular skill. So, before we even go to that, as of right now, I do have her as awareness 6, as you can see. I do have her 5-star weapon. And then for cards, well, for Mindscape, I'll need the normal passives. I will unlock all these before we even start anything else. But hit wise, she is of course, saboteur role. Primarily her entire kit is focused on defense down and damage taken. And there's also another trait that she has, where she is able to inflict forget. Now, we don't really see these skills as much as in right now, due to some event bosses that is out, depending on which time period they were released at. They do have the condition to where they will nullify any abnormal conditions like fear, knockdown, in some cases, despair, but also this includes forget, that they'll just nullify. They won't even get hit with it. Now, again, she plays a very huge role in trials. I would say because every enemy you fight there doesn't have that abnormal nullification. So again, first skill, she's able to inflict defense down. Well, yeah, decrease the defense for every point she has. Basically, her kit is merely scaled her speed and her attack stats. Other than that, she's able to gain 4 memory stacks, which is the Mingpo Soup. When we do have Mingpo Soup active, basically that just enhances our skills, primarily 2 and 3, which we'll just get to slowly. After skill 2, this is where the forget kicks in. She's able to inflict a lot more damage than usual, but she has a chance to inflict forget, depending if you're lucky, but most likely this is going to be like a 100% chance of you getting inflicted with it. But again, if you don't, just try again. But it's pretty good when you do have the Mingpo Soup active, along with the skill. Other than that, right here, it's really nice. If a foe is afflicted with a forget or another spiritual element, excuse me, increase their damage by damage taken by 2% for every 10 points of yelling speed. 30%. Not bad. Not bad indeed. But skill 3, it's where it takes the cake. Not only were we able to inflict damage, curse damage to the entire team, we're able to increase damage taken, which that is a big thing to do. So primarily, when using this character, you're going to be using skill 1 and skill 3. Because skill 2 is almost non-existent, because depending on who you're fighting, they will just cancel it. They just will not get hit with it. However, in trials, we can abuse that. Her ult is basically just increase the damage taken by the entire team, the entire enemy team, for 2 turns. For skill 3, it's like the same thing for our highlight, but for this one is that we're able to capitalize a lot more damage than usual here, but it only will stay there if it's lasting for 2 turns, if we're not performing action, or the enemy gets hit twice. So we're gonna have to use our skill 3 a lot more careful than our skill 1 and highlight. Helpful Mastery increases speed by 1 by every 2 points of her speed, which is nice. And then when attacking a foe who has more HP, we actually do a lot more curse damage, or just curse damage taken. Now, in some cases, this passive actually plays well with Joker, since he is our only sweeper curse user. So normally when you start the game out from day one, she is a 100% the best partner you can use for Joker in this scenario. Now, as the game continues to progress, she tends to be a forgotten unit until her second variant comes in, which is the Firecracker version of her, which is extremely good. But in this case, using her, you can almost use her in any team. Like, when I say any team you can use her with. She's still to this day perfect. It's like nothing has ever changed with her. Nothing has changed. So, for the team, I'm going to put a team together. Certainly, I want to use her in the trials instead of Tartarus this time, because I want to utilize the Forget, the Forgot Stasis element. Skill 2. This is what I want to prioritize a lot more. If not, then we can only do so much. Now, when it comes to cards, she does have 3 recommended stats. Oh, some god sets. Prosperity and Departure. I think it's Trust and Prosperity, and then Growth and Power. I do not understand this whole Trust and Prosperity, because she's mainly just inflicting damage onto the enemy instead of, you know, doing anything for allies, to my knowledge. But hey, there's probably some benefit of this besides just getting our highlight gauge from 25%. Departure and Prosperity, I think it is also a good set. Purely focus, if we're going to use skill 1, skill 3, we can abuse the Prosperity and Departure build, which is going to increase the entire party for 1 damage. And this Power and Growth, this is like a, if you want her to be like a sweeper kind of build, this is probably the weakest link of the entire recommendation sets you can use, in my opinion. So what I use is Control and Departure. Now, since her kit is purely just inflicting damage, damage increase and defense, lowering their defense, we can use the set here. Not only we're going to get HP bonus attack due to whatever her HP is, we're able to also decrease the target's defense by 23% for 2 turns, which is a lot of defense. So not only we're going to use her skill 1 and skill 2, we're also going to abuse the set right here. Now for HP, over the top, I think it's pretty much decent. The build I got is questionable when it comes to the substats and all, but I think it's fun. So this is over a build I got. It's not really meeting the goal, but we do have the correct speed that we will need. Now, in some cases, when it comes to using the second skill, again, it all depends on what fight we're using. So, Joker is going to be our DPS for this first. Oh, Jesus. Joker is going to be our first DPS that we're going to be using for the first fight. We're going to be using Phoebe to amplify curse damage, Core to abuse everyone's highlight, and then how we're going to use our Wonder. We're going to have our main persona with Neon Show and Dionysus. Also, we're doing this for Trials, by the way. So we are doing the curse version of Trials, to where we're going to be fighting against 1 player. Well, not 1 player, 1 enemy. Now, this is going to be a lot more. Well, we're not going to spend too much time with it, because we kind of do power creep this event tab, which is going to be very hard to use. We can always go to Tartarus, but I want to be able to utilize skill 2 before we just throw that skill away. So let's do this. We do have the mark inflicted onto him. Let's do chords. Highlight real quick. And then let's do skill 1 for now. Then we can go to Universal Theria. Chord. Distortion. Obviously, this is gonna be nothing to him. But it's just gonna. Probably could use skill 3, but nah. Hopefully, I was gonna flip shock because we're gonna need that debuff. But I guess not. Huh. Huh. Okay, now some instance like that, we can probably use it. Alright, so let's not use this. Let's use. We do have our passive ready. So yeah, we're gonna flick forget. And then we're gonna flip over. Let's do Sonic Interference. Let's another debuff onto him. Let's do this. Probably should have had a healer. Alright, let's do this. Increase our first damage. Let's not do that. Let's guard. Now, for anyone who doesn't know what Forget does, we can always click here. But overall, he still can attack, but it's just going to be a normal melee, which is, in some cases, very nice. It's going to do damage, but it's not going to do as much damage as in their designated skill of what they normally would do. Alright, then let's go over to here. Let's place Raccoona down. Because I think we lost the mark, didn't we? Yeah, we lost the mark. Alright, that's fine. We're gonna do this. It's gonna kill, but like way too quickly. Oh yeah, it's gonna kill way too quickly. Yeah, it's gonna kill way too quickly. Oh well. Well, other than that, that's pretty much how we can use it. Normally, I think in past Persona games, when you do inflict a stasis like this, usually when you do hit them, probably not with the correct skill, because usually you can do technical skills. Still here in this game, you can still do technical damage, but in some cases when you do a technical damage or just a normal hit, it tends to wipe off the status effect. However, we can keep it here in some cases. Again, depending on what skill, it doesn't remove itself. So let's end this guy and move on to the next fight. Okay, so for this next fight, we're still going to utilize her skill 2 here. Did change the team up a bit to where we're going to be fighting an electric unit. So we do have Yui on the field, and we have Minami, or Marion. Just for the sole purpose of that, I do not have faith in Yui sometimes, but she's not meant to be a full damage user. She's meant to be a sub DPS, so she banks off allies. But we'll get more to her kit when we get to that road. Alright, so the next fight, I'm actually going to use it to where we're going to have it more than one opponent. So for now, we can't do curse damage with this, but however, we can still inflict Forget, which is good. So scenarios like that, I love the most. To where we're not going to utilize the initial damage at first, but we can still, inflict status. Alright, so we are going to And she's a sub DPS, so let's put her over there. Let's inflict this. And then we can do her highlight to where everyone is participating in her follow-up. We're going to use Futaba, skill 2. Now let's do something interference. Let's do Healing Grace. Now we can use skill 1. Look at that damage. Not bad. Alright, now he's going to go back and forget. That's what you're about to do. Yep, go back and forget. Alright. Let's do skill 3. Have everyone hit him. And then what we can do. Oh, we can't. Okay. Oh, no, we can't. I made a big whoopsie. Alright, let's go Universal Theory again. I probably should attack them. So we need to follow up. Boom. There you go. Alright, let's move on to another fight where we're going to be fighting more than one target. So, this is going to be the next team I'm going to be using. More of a cycle build. We're going to be using Haru and Tobiko alongside with our showcase. So, for the team, the Personas is the same thing, what I usually use, but we're going to be using Compass, and then, of course, Phoebe. Oh, Jesus. Phoebe. We're going to be using Phoebe. So let's, oh, hold on. Let me just throw this on. Boom. Alright, cool. So let's start. So again, since we do have the Bean Pump Soup active, we are able to guarantee a... Who exactly has a Megiddo on here? Who has Megiddo on? You have Sword Dance. Oh, you have Megiddo now. No, both. I have more than two. You both. Okay, cool. Right. Let's do this. We're gonna forget. Nice. We're gonna do Sonic Interference. Use skill 2. Alright, we're gonna do some prep time. Alright, cool. Now we can use skill 3 here. And then let's use skill 3 here. Oh yeah. He just died way too quickly. This is just purely just power crept. Alright, cool. Back up. So skill 1. We don't have our passive. Oh, now we do. Let's go back. Universal Lyria. And obviously this is going to kill him, but I mean, you get the gist of what I'm going with. Even when we do Afflict, forget, we can still do damage. We can fully utilize it, but in some cases we just cannot do it enough. Frick it, let's bomb her. Alright, I will move on to one more trial and see what we can do from there. So, for this next and final team, it's gonna be just Ice Base. I would do Nuclear, but that's purely focused of a single target team, not an AoE. Even though there is a couple skills you can use for AoE, but it's not meant for an AoE team, as in right now. Nuclear is more of a assassin type team. So, but we're going to be using this little Frost team we got here. We got Cherish with Fox, for Wonder, we're having a full defensive and support build. We're going to be using Sabathon, Neo Shadow, of course, and then we're going to use King Frost here. Solely because we have Fox here. And then we're going to have Puppet as our Navi. So, again, pretty much, once we do have our active, or passive, active, we are able to utilize our skill 2. Now, again, I purposely chose this stage because they nullify burst damage. However, we can still inflict the status onto them. Pretty neat, in my opinion. Alright, so I'm going to use skill 1 once I'm doing with Fox, since he is defensive type. Skill 3 with Cherish, and then skill 3 with Fox. So honestly, when it comes to Team Fox, well, this team specifically, we just sit back and watch. Pretty much it. Let's do this. Skill 1, grant the team an extra shield and SP. Let's use skill 3. We inflict the status with the defense down instead of the damage itself. Let's not use that. Let's use this. Another status debuff on the field. And then we're going to King Frost, increase our defense for Fox, and then we are doing this, having an extra time. And then we use Heal 2. Look at that damage. Here comes the counter. Alrighty. Let's just blend it against him as well. Alright, he's gonna attack. We should counter. Oh, we're not gonna counter. Alright, cool. Forget. Oh, we missed. Alright, well, yep, there it is. Here's some of the cases that we can actually do missed. Alright, so interference. Let's nah. I'm not gonna do too much. Skill 3. Is it death, isn't it? It's might be death. This might be death. Yeah, that's death. Okay. I mean, I can try Tartarus, but again, we are not going to be using skill 2 at all. So I'll just go to one fight in particular, not instead of the final one, and we'll just work from there.
ちも一緒に戦います。もっとド派手に行きますよ。私たちも一緒に戦います。さてどうしましょうか。行きますよ、エウテルペ。
ありがとう。
出番ね。モンポのスープをごちそうしますね。
ペルソナペルソナ交流いただいていく。
いい歌を届けよう。響き渡れどこまでも。
ショータイムだ。アルセーヌ。
歌声を響け。いいえ、轟いて。
ショータイムだ。アルセーヌ。アルセーヌ。ペルソナ。もう一度。
私たちも一緒に戦います。さてどうしましょうか。何度だって立ち上がって奇跡を。私たちも一緒に戦います。さてどうしましょうか。ペルソナジオ。さてどうしましょうか。エウテルペ、お願い、みんなを守って。流れを変えてみせる。この鼓動を歌に乗せてカリブー。ありがとう。
アルセーヌ。決めるぞペルソナ。
すごい。
来いアルセーヌ。仕留めるぞペルソナ。